Done. Okay, guys. So as I was saying, today we are going to look into the data definition language, or what we call as the DDL commands. So now, Sonamari, last time SQL there are 4 types of commands. So before writing all the queries and before doing that, we should know in detail about these 4 commands. So what are the different things that we can do with this 4 commands is very, very important. So in that, the first option what we are going to see is the data definition language. Right. So before going into that, I just wanted to know, did any one of you try installing the SQL? Yara try panningla? MySQL software, did you guys try to install it?
Ma'am, I installed ma'am, but setup is not coming for me.
Okay, where Yara try panningla? Anyone else tried it? Anyone who has a laptop or a PC, did you guys try? Okay, do one thing. In case install pannindingna, in case if you have installed, what you have to do is you just have to go and search for something called as workbench. ஓகேவா இங்க உங்களோட ஸ்டார்ட் மெனுல just search it as workbench. Okay, when you type it you will automatically get it if it has been installed. Okay, if the MySQL software has been installed successfully in your system, you will get something. When you search workbench, you will get something like this, MySQL workbench அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு it will show you. You just have to select this. Okay, so when you select it, this is the screen that you will be getting. So in this screen, we have to go for the local connection. So just click on this local connection. So when you're installing, okay, when you're installing, actually you would have given a password. So it will ask you for a password, user and the password. So that password, whatever you gave when you're installing, you just have to give that. So a second, let me remember what I gave. Okay, just I will just save the password. Okay, just give okay. So like this, one screen will be popping up for you. Like this, a new screen will be opening. So in this screen only, we are going to work on all our queries. So in this, what are you going to do is like first, you will get a screen like this. You can save this. So wherever you want, you can just click Control yes, and you can save this and keep. Okay, either the first step, what we are going to do is in your DDL commands, we are going to see about the create command. So as the name suggests, create. So what do you mean by create? You're going to create something new. So something new is going to be done now. So the first step in the create command, what you have to do is you have to create a database. So the first thing what we have to do is we have to create a database. So how to create a database? What is the syntax? Guys, here one thing you have to remember. Every query has a syntax. So you should be thorough in the syntax. Then only you will be able to work on it. Right. So now the first step what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new database. So I already discussed with you what is a database. So a database is nothing but a collection of data. So data is nothing but information. So database, I'm going to collect lot of data and I'm going to store it. So how to store it? I am going to use the RDBMS concept, Relational Database Management System. So what do you mean by relational database? It is going to store my data in form of a table. Simple as that. So RDBMS, what it does? It is used to store the data. That is, it is used to store the information in form of a table. And we always know what is a table? Made up of rows and columns. So what we are going to do is we are going to store our data in form of tables, and we are going to put all these tables inside a database. So understand the hierarchy very carefully. First comes your database. Inside the database, you will be having multiple tables. We can create different tables inside one single database. You can have even thousands of tables inside a database. It is our choice. So first step is a database. So inside a database, we will be creating the tables. So for creating a database also, we will be using the create command. For creating the table also, we will be making use of the create command only. So the first step, as I said, we have to create the database. So simple syntax of creating a database is, there you go. So create database. So these are keywords. Create is a command. Database is a keyword. So create database followed by any database name. So database name is our choice. So whatever database we want, we can create that database. So I'm going to create my own database. So I'm going to call my database as DB test. So database test, that is the name of the database that I'm going to create. You can create any of your name, whatever you want. You can give your name or you can give any other name and create the database. So this is the first step you will be doing, right? And one thing you guys understand, I told you that, yes ma,
Ma'am, DBTST is always in capital letters, or we
no
can do
da,
in
no
small letters
no no no,
also.
see, uh your SQL is a case insensitive language. So you can write it in capital letters also, you can write it in small letters also, or you can mix and write it also, it doesn't bother. So it is not case sensitive, it is case insensitive. So see, we write it in capital letters so that it will look good, that's all. But if you want, you can use any casing. Right, yes. So now another point what I was coming to tell you is, wait, sorry, yeah. Okay, let me run this. So I want to run this query. Yeah, before running this query, I just wanted to tell you one thing. I told you that I will suggest you some online compilers. Okay, some online where you can, practice your all these commands. Remember one thing, in the online, okay, you cannot create a database. You have to use, you can create tables and all, but they will not allow you to create a database. So if possible, try to install the software, it will be much better, right? So now how to execute this particular command. So here you can see a flash, a lightning like symbol. So this symbol is what you use to execute the command. So here I'm just going to click on this. So there down you can see all the, so you can see all the results of it getting executed. So what it says, create database DB test. So one row affected. So when it shows anything like this, one row affected kind of thing, then it means that your query has been successfully executed. So understand, whenever you get some statements like this, it means that the query is a success. It has been successfully done, executed for us. So now this database has been created, right? So that is the first step. Now the second step, here you guys have to understand one thing. I said inside my MySQL, okay, I can have multiple database. Okay, inside my MySQL server, I can have multiple database. I can create different databases. At the same time, every database can have multiple tables also. So inside this DB test, I can create how many ever tables I want. Say for example, let us think about a company. In a company, different people will be working with my MySQL server. In the same server, different people will be working. That is, for example, if I take a project, the project may be consisting of 4 or 5 members. So all the 5 members are going to work in the server only. So every person has a chance of creating their own DB and working on it and all. So there will be multiple DBs present. There are multiple databases present inside the server. So here we may face one single problem. That is, if you are going to give a name which already is there, okay, which you are going to give a name which is already there, then my server is going to create an error for me. It's going to throw an error. So always remember, whether it is a database name or whether it is a table name, whatever it is, it should always be unique. You cannot have a repetition. Say for example, this line I have already executed and DB test is a database which has been created. Now if I run the same command again, see, now it is not saying that. What it is saying, it is saying that you cannot create the database because database exists. So it is already there, so we cannot create it again. So this is one point you have to remember very carefully. So whenever you're going to create a database, make sure that there is no database in that particular name. So if the name is unique, then we will create a database. So how to handle this situation? How will I know what are the databases that is there in my server? When I'm going to create a database, I should actually know, right, if this name is already there or not. So how to determine that? So there are two ways of actually handling this problem. Okay, when you're going to create a new database, to make sure that the name is not repeated, I can do it in two ways. Okay, the first is, let me just show you this. Yes. Okay, I'm going to run this query. Show databases. So when I say show databases and I am going to run this, see what happens. This will give me the list of all the databases that is currently there in my system, in my server. Whatever the databases that are there, this is going to give me the list of all the database. See, DB test, the database we just now created. There is already another database called DB testing. Then there is a database called MySQL, sys, world, perform underscore schema. So like this, so many different databases is already there in my system. So what you can do, first run this query, show databases. So this is going to give you the list of all the databases that is currently there in my MySQL server, so that we will know what names are there and then we can create it. So this is one way of doing it. But there is a slight problem here. This method is okay. I'm not saying it is wrong, but there is one small problem. I don't know how many databases will be there. If my list is having some 1,000 names, can I go through all the 1,000 names and try to search whether it is there or not? No. Here I'm having only some 4 or 5 databases, the entire list. So I'm able to say, okay, whether my name is there or not. But what if this list is very long? It is not practically possible for us to search. So I need an alternate way. So what is that alternate way is, I am going to use this command. I'm going to make use of this command. So what is this command? Create database, still the same. Create only we have to use. So create database, we are going to add one word to it. If not exists. If the database is not there, then you create a database by this name. So let me give DB testing again, or DB test. So we know DB test is already there. So I am saying create database. If not exist, the name of the database. Now when I run this, see what happens. So see the difference between this and this, guys. Here it is throwing me an error code, but here what it says, it is throwing me a warning. It is throwing me a warning. There is a difference between an error and a warning. So understand this very carefully. If I do not use this, and if I'm going to run this query, then what it is going to do? It is going to throw me an error. So, but now when I say if not exist, so what it is going to do is, first it will test this name. It will take this name and it will check with all the database name that is actually there in my server. It will check the name one by one, one by one. So if no database is present with this name, then it will create a new database. If a database already exists with this name, then it will give me a warning. It will give me a warning saying that this is already there, hence I cannot do anything about it. So understand the difference between these two very carefully. So you can use this syntax also, which is a very simple syntax. We'll just say create database followed by the database name. Or else we can make use of this syntax, which is also similar. So create database. If not exist, then you mention the database. Right. So now there is a third way of doing it, which we normally don't use. Okay, because normally we give it to the default settings. That is third way where we can mention the character set, we can mention the collate and other things, but we are not going to discuss this in detail. We will see this when we are seeing the other things. But as of now, these are the two syntaxes which you should be familiar with for creating a database. Right. Now, the next step is, how can I verify whether my database has been created successfully or not? Now I'm saying, okay, fine. And it showed me one row affected, but I want to see the details of that database. I want to see what are the things, how it has got created. So the command that I'm going to use for that is show create database. So whatever the database that has been created, I am saying show that database followed by the database name. So show create database, the DB test, because this is the name of the database I have created. So that is the name I'm going to mention. Okay guys, this command will not run because I have not given certain permissions. So this is not going to run for me. I will give the permission settings and I will tell you how to do about that. Right, then I have this. I will come to the next when we are discussing the next thing. I'll tell you this. Now another command regarding the database, what you should be knowing is how to delete a database. You have created a database. Now if you want to delete the database, how to delete it? So the command is drop database followed by the database name. So here I have to mention the database name. So I'm giving, this is the name of the database. This is the database I have created. So I'm just going to delete it. But remember one thing, whenever you're going to delete a database, in case the database has any tables or any procedures, any views inside that, everything is going to get deleted. When you delete a database, everything that is present inside the database is going to get deleted. So this is one very important point you have to remember. See, as of now, my DB test is empty. So I am not bothered about it. So I can drop this data. Suppose if I have created any tables inside this, then all those things will also be getting deleted along with this. So this is what you have to understand. See, now the drop statement is done and it is saying as one row is affected. Now, when I try to do it again, let me say show databases and let me run this. See in this, now the DB test, what we created, the DB test is not there. The DB test has been removed. So first basic thing what you should be knowing is how to create a database, okay, and how to drop a database, and how to see what are the different databases that are present in your server. So these are the three key points what should be knowing, right? So now let us try to create a table. Now that we know how to create a database, let us try to create a table. So again, so before creating a table, I'm again going to create my own database. And then I'm going to create a table inside this particular database. So let me just create it again. So this is the database I'm going to create again. And yes, it is. Yes, it is successful. Done. So now the second step, what I have to do. Remember this again very carefully. Before you are going to create a table, we have to make use of one command. And then only you are going to create the table. What is that command is? Use database name. So here my database name is DB test. So I'm going to say use DB test. Now understand what is the purpose of this command. So I'm going to say that inside this database, I am going to create some tables. So in order to tell my server that whatever table I am going to create now should come under this database, I have to say this command. So use this database name so that whatever the query I'm going to write now should get executed for this particular database. So that is the meaning of this use DB test or the use the database name. So now the second command, what I should be knowing is how to create my table. So always remember the syntax, create table followed by the table name. So again, table name is your choice. Whatever table name you want to give, you can give that table name. Followed by within the parenthesis. So remember, you're going to use the parenthesis. Within the parenthesis, you will mention the column name, space, followed by the data type of the column. Then comma, second column name, space, data type of that, comma, third column name, comma, fourth column name, and so on. How many ever columns you want, you can create that much. And then when you're closing the parenthesis, don't forget your semicolon. So this is how you're going to create a table. So here again, I'm telling you guys, the syntax is very, very important. So make sure that you are familiar with the syntaxes. So here I'm going to use this example. Okay, so this is the example that I'm going to make use of. So what I'm going to tell here, there you go. Yes. So I'm saying use the DB test, my database. Then I'm saying create table. The name of the table is going to be employee info. So EMP info is the name of my table. So inside this table, what are the columns that is going to be there? So first column I'm giving as employee ID. So now what is the data type of this particular column? So here is what you have to know about this. So when I'm going to talk about data types, you have to first understand what is a data type. Why is the data type very, very required here? Why is it so necessary here? So for that, first point what you have to know is data type will decide what type of data I am planning to store inside that column. Whether I'm going to store some numbers, or am I going to store some string values, or am I going to store some date, time, or am I going to store some decimal point value, that is with dots, some floating points. So what type of value the column is going to hold, that is decided with the help of the data type. So it is very important for this purpose. So I am saying employee ID. Okay, employee ID is going to be how? Is my employee ID going to be numbers, or is it going to be some string values, that is some alphabets and then numbers like that? So how is the column going to hold the data? What type of data my column is going to hold? That is determined with the help of the data types. So before going to the create table, okay, before actually going to the create table concept, you should know what are the different data types that MySQL supports. When you know that only, you will be able to create the column with that particular data type. So first point of a data type is it is used to define what type of value my column is going to store. Now, second question you may ask, why is it necessary for me to know? Why should I know in advance what type of column, what type of data is going to store? Let it be any type. What is the deal? Here the problem is, see guys, for us to store the data, we require some memory, right? To store any values, simple. I'm creating this Word document. For storing this Word document, some memory space is going to be occupied. Same way, whatever data you are planning to store inside the table, that is going to require some memory. How much of memory? That is determined with the help of the data type. So understand the importance of data type very carefully. So first thing is it will tell what type of data. Why is that necessary? Because based on the type of data only, that much of memory will be allocated for that column. So when I keep on adding data, the memory where it will come, how many memory to allocate, it will know based on the data type. So in MySQL, primarily, we have three types of data. We have three types of data: numeric, string, date time. Okay, so these are the primary data types we have. So inside the numeric, Inside the numeric, we can again categorize it into integer type and float type. So our numeric data type, we can classify into integers and we can classify into float. So integer, as the name suggests, since we have already seen in different programming languages also, integer means numbers, whole numbers, no fractional, no decimal values. So in order for me to store whole numbers, I will be going for the integer type. Right. So now what are the integer types? I have tiny int, I have small int, I have medium int, I have int, and I have big int. So these are the different integer data types that I am having. Now you may ask, why are we having so many? Because each and everything's memory capacity is going to be different according to my requirement. See, for example, I am going to create a column called age. Right. What is the maximum value age can be of? Can he live for 100 years, 150 years, 200 years? How many years he is going to live? Maximum capacity is going to be very limited. So for that, why I should waste 8 bytes of memory or 4 bytes of memory? Why is unnecessarily getting wasted? So I can store it in tiny int itself. Tiny int capacity is 0 to 255. Do you really think any person is going to live more than 255 years? Not at all possible. So according to my requirement, I will choose the type of data, whether this much is enough or is it going to be something very large. Say for example, I want to do some calculation and say to travel from here to Mars, how much of distance it is or something like that, some scientific things I want to store, then definitely it requires a very big number. For that, small tiny int is not enough. I need some very big number. So for that, I'm going to require some big int kind of thing. So that is why, based on your requirement, you will choose what is going to be our data type. So according to store numbers, when you want to store whole numbers, these are the different options you are having. So tiny int, small int, medium int and